Blessings fan, and welcome to Camp Bisco 12. Do you need any Molly, Kenny Kizzle, Moon Rocks, or 2CB?
Are those people or drugs?
Although I do have a good Jewish friend named Carl Kizzleman who went hard on '06 tour and legally changed his name to Kenny Kizzle. Those are all in fact drugs.
Is any of that shit good?
I prefer the Kenny G personally.
The what?
Ketamine and smooth jazz have more in common than you realize.
What is that shit like?
Imagine you are a mighty ancient creature, roaming through a massively dosed forest on the hunt for epic shredding drugs. You are being ravenously chased down by a large, shimmering crystal armed with a tranquilizer gun. This crystal means no harm, however. He is just trying to fuck you the fuck up. He shoots you with his dart, and for hours afterwards you foolishly stumble through the trees, stomping uber prehistorically on everything in your path. You feel yourself travel to a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth, shredded on drugs designed for horses.
That sounds very tribal and fucked. Do you have like LSD?
No son, we only do hard drugs at Camp 12.
Why the fuck are you in a cage?
These days, instead of seeing actual music, fans at Camp Bisco lock themselves in cages suspended over huge, steaming pools of every hard drug mixed. As the steam rises to your cage, you become tribally locked in a crystal and unable to move or speak. Music from 6 stages is blasted into your cage simultaneously, and you have no choice but to get fucking shredded and feel it.
Wow. What the fuck? Do you know where I can find Dr. Famius?
The one you speak of named Dr. Famius is no longer a physical man, but a metaphysical idea. He is the air and the wind, and his e-drums are blessed by Jah, and delivered on the dosed wings of molly-chomping fairies directly to your cage. A breath of his air contains so many thunderclaps, thirst quenchers, and fake DJ scratches, it blows the mind of even the most crunchy of fans.
Do you know Simon Posford?
Simon Posford is now the ringleader of the Camp Bisco 12 side stage, a mystical, mothball-stinking realm, where the air consists of more DMT than actual oxygen.
What about Brownie?
Actually, Mark Brownstein is backstage kicking it, smoking a blunt.
Is he still human?
Yes, but he is too busy personally selling Camp 12 merch and smoking the finest, PCP-laced blunts to the dome to speak with you now.
What about John?
John is on drugs.
Is there someone here I can speak to about getting into the VIP or something? This is really starting to bum me out.
Yes. Please hand over all major credit cards, your social security number, birth certificate, and firstborn child, and the VIP master Dan Berkowitz will take you into a room with over 1,000 strobe lights where he will then proceed to cover his dick in ketamine, and then fuck you up the ass with it.
So that's the VIP at Camp 12.
Yes, that or your own personal cage.
What about the late night?
The late night consists of passing out on drugs in your cage, and being visited by Magner, who is dressed as Santa Claus and flags a great crystal to each cage, to drop you off presents at night.
What kind of presents?
Typically brutal rape and faders.
None of this sounds fun to me. Now I remember why I quit this band.
John told me you quit this band because Dr. Famius had more dosed robotic arms than you, and because you refused to play Rockefeller when he wrote it back in '05.
That song fucking sucks. Barber never even had a dashboard bubbler. It was a fucking chillum with a fish logo on it. And his hot tub was a plastic above ground pool that his parents never filtered. I even found a dead squirrel in it once. Rockefeller eats my thunderously epic balls.
Yes, but now it whumps and wobbles harder than a thin piece of sheet metal. Is there anything else you want? Maybe a quick bite to eat.
That would be epic. Where is the vegan burrito tent?
At Camp 12 we have resorted to taking quartz crystals and melting them down to a liquid form, and then anally injecting that liquid as an enema up your butt.
So let me get this straight. Camp is basically now a prison in a drug-laced hell where you anally booth cheap crystals for sustenance?
Yes. And we also have an ultra-flashy Zoo York outlet and a head content.
Is there still color wars?
At Camp 10 it was decided that if you were sober enough to want to play volleyball with a bunch of homosexuals and Magner, you shouldn't be at camp and you should learn how to truly rage.
The fuck is it now then?
Color Wars is now used on Fantasy Tour as bait to lure in sober kids who want to do physical activities at camp, and we take these kids to the special room.
What the fuck happens there?
Color Wars fans who end up in the special room are subjected to cruel and unusual dosings with billions of mics of LSD. They are then tortured, and their drug-induced agony is recorded by giant microphones and used as sound samples for Magner or new patches for the Dr. Z drums. Instead of the monkey skulls and the thirst quencher, the biscuits now use live recordings of human skulls being hit with drum mallets and the sound of a man sighing after he pounds 32 ounces of LSD laced with paint thinner.
Holy fucking hell. That sounds intense. Look, I think this whole camp thing might not be for me. Rothbury sounds like it might be slightly more chill than this.
There's always Fish Tour 2024. You can pre-register for the pre-registration pre-trail pre-ticket giveaway, which will only cost you $4,000, a testicle, and all your bombast chronic.
Wow. Custard.
One cage then?
Yeah, set me one up. Fuck.